Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the SuperNova Astrology Update for February 10th through 17th, 2025. Well, we are heading into a very powerful Leo full moon this week. And for the Leo full moon, the Mercury is catching back up to the sun. So Mercury took a retrograde in Sagittarius in November, December, and now has come out of retrograde shadow and is in the sign of Aquarius, and catching back up to the sun. So when Mercury catches back up to the sun after a retrograde cycle, it's like we're reimagining, re-understanding, finding a new perspective. The sun is who do we think we are? So Mercury is speaking to the path that we're on. What are we even doing? Mercury's retrograde was in Sagittarius, and a journey to the quest to salvage what's left of the whole reason why the dream of this evolution. And so Mercury's been recharged in this quest in Sagittarius, revalidated, and now informing the sun in Aquarius, because indeed the quest we're on has everything to do about moving us over into the Aquarian age, the golden age. The age where we take responsibility for our ability to co-create. We take back our sovereignty and our autonomy, and we take back our earth. It's very beautiful, but it's been a long, hard journey, a long fought war. And the thing is right now is that we're coming to this place, supernovas, where, many of us are feeling like we've been constantly on the defensive, just trying to make a little bit of space in our life for what really matters to us and our dreams and our visions and our spiritual pursuits, and always coming up against this massive resistance. And so it's like this Mars retrograde in Cancer has this energy of the wounded warrior, of no more fighting, like lost my sword in the battle, it broke, I'm broken, I'm on the ground, I'm injured. Like we're at this place where we can't run, we can't hide, and we can't fight. And when is it going to be that Earth, our organic, loving Mother Earth that we feel so connected to, supernovas, is safe? When is our Earth going to be safe for humanity? And for safe, especially for those of the light, the advanced souls that have been coming again and again, bringing this light. It's our world. And we are done being terrorized. It's time for us to be comfortable. Now, for us to be comfortable in this world means we're going to get really big. And all those restrictions and mechanisms and matrices that have been keeping us small and arguing with our every move are now shifting and falling away. And this is the energy of the astrology. The message is coming through is that, all right, everything you thought in your wildest dreams, in your hopes and your visions is there for you. If you can step up, reach up and grab it. Okay, because there comes to a place in human evolution where, and maybe this is the Mars retrograde, like you're beaten down, you're on the ground, nobody cares, you're half dead, and it's like, but there comes a time when it's like, all right, you have to, within each of our being, part of the trap we've been in has to do with the distortion on the Christ mythology and around the saving of humanity. And there, if we're going to be sovereign, conscious souls that are taking responsibility for our power and our ability to co-create, then we need to make sure that we're loyal only to the forces of good. And this is everything that we're going through right now. And so that Mars retrograde in Cancer is coming to this place of, on the one hand, a complete disempowerment of the false, of the patriarchal masculine, of the ego. On the other hand, this beautiful opportunity to come back to the arms of the mother, to forge and meld with her, to know that everything's been forgiven about our separation from Mother Earth. And she holds us and she cares for us and she loves us. Now, the way we exercise this in our world right now has a lot to do with self-care, being like her message, like, all right, you guys really think you want to take care of the earth and carbon credits are going to handle that? No. How do we take care of the earth? She is crying out to us. She is a living being, sentient being. And she says, if I'm going to do this, I need you with me because you are me. So going back to the self-care, if our body is her body and we want to take care of her, then we do it by first learning to take care of ourselves. And this is the very crucial place that a lot of supernova souls are at right now, where you turn your life around because you say, wait a minute, nobody's going to do this for me. Not one force or person in this world wants me to succeed in the lower matrix as who I am. We've got to stand up and do it for ourselves. It might take one little step. And it's really important to enact our will. So we're talking self-care as a way to care for and connect with Mother Earth. And we're talking about acts of will, which can realign ourselves with what we're here to do, not all the agendas around us that are constantly berating us and arguing with us and invalidating us, and just feels like a constant struggle, to just be you, to just be at peace in your own energy, And so, but those forces are not in alignment. So we're finding everything that is in alignment. And all the false parts of ourselves and our ego desires and our ideas about how things should be or who we are, or what we're supposed to do, is just like letting it all go. But the thing we can't let go of is her. She holds the original dream and the vision, and our role in her dream, and as her petal of her lotus, she holds it. She knows more than we do. In the consciousness of the sentient being that is Mother Earth, who's going through a spiritual ascension. And we get to go with her. So everything has been about alignment, where we had this incredible planetary alignment, this energy of alignment, and the energy of alignment says that you were not in line before, right? Or you were aligned with something else. And that's these constant agendas of our world. And if you look at it, every single agenda, this is powerful. Because you've been trying to be in neutrality, in love, in harmony, in observation, stand with the mother, wait and see, no judgment, And that is the mother's way. And Yeshua's teachings too, right? Oh, same. So everything is designed in this reality to work against the alignment with her, And so the neutral place, right? So say an organism, take a body, a physical body, a human body, is with its vital force, its life force, and it's in a healthy state, it's in equilibrium. It has a 0 point, it has a baseline, And then the energies of agenda, which is ego and everything in our world right now, right? That's playing out, media, everything. Everybody wants your attention. They want your energy. They want to influence you. They want you to get you to think a certain way. They want you to react emotionally, all to feed on our precious energy. And guess what? Powerful, powerful message coming through right here, right now. You heard it here first. Let's see if I can remember. The mother's way is not, there's no agenda. There's only her agenda and the dream and the vision. And it's so easy and it's so simple, and we don't even have to know it or understand it. We just have to come back and feel her love and be connected. Then we can trust. It's not blind faith. And find ourselves being like, somebody save me, But there is a field of protection and support that's available for us. So everything that's coming at us right now is agenda. Everything that's agenda is not in alignment with the mother. Okay. And so we're in this place of trying to come into alignment, which means we've been out of alignment or aligned to agendas. Even our own, even sometimes the most spiritual, lofty ideas are ego pursuits, because that's all we know. It's all we've ever learned. So this realignment that's happening for us is a realignment out of agenda and into her agenda. And so that's a really helpful energy, because what I'm seeing right now, the way energies are working out, is that it's getting more and more clear to see these agendas. That people will talk to you, and it's not about just an experience of exchanging energy or information. It's about, you need to do this so I can influence you to act a certain way. It's like this massive bloom of the control forces. And then with supernova souls being like, oh, every single relationship I've ever been in on any level has had these dynamics. Why? Because the whole system is set up to control you. Are you done being controlled? Are you going to stand up in the incredible power that you have within you and say, no agendas. I take back my full power and my full energy that was gifted to me through creation and source and mother, and I redirect it to only what's in alignment with her dream. And then maybe that's what's happening. The agendas, the false agendas, the lower, it says, oh, this is about love. This is about furthering you. This is about helping you. This is about this. That's like, no, because it's not in alignment with her. Everyone wants to argue with this and make fun of it. And yet we know that this is the force that moves all, the creation energy. It's been stolen from us. We were shown that we have access to merely a trickle of what is our birthright. And what are you going to do with the fire hose? That's why we have to go through this right now. So you know that you have no agendas besides her one agenda. Your one agenda. Same. Her body, her dream, your dream. We are beautiful, faceted expressions of her dream. So it's unique. So many supernova souls are so unique, so many incredible experiences and interesting people, and yet we all have a very similar story. And one of the things that we're just coming to realize is, like, we've been taking it personally, how the forces seem to be out to get us over lifetimes. And it's just not personal. We're just of the light and we can't even help it. And it's not about anything we did or said. It's about who we are. And they wanted to exterminate us from Earth, except it's our Earth. And so this is what's going down. It's a massive shakedown. This has to do with the fact that the south node of the moon is in the sign of Virgo. So this is a planetary purge. Virgo wants to clean it up. North node in Pisces says we have to clear and heal the persecution and the separation so that we can reclaim the mysteries and miracles and magic of the Christ consciousness timeline. And so it's powerful to feel this as we sit kind of in the middle of retrograde season. 6 months of retrogrades. And we've got Mars in that retrograding all the way back into Cancer. Now Mars is just on the 12th going to make it to 17 degrees. That's where Mars will turn direct, and that happens on February 24th. So once Mars turns direct, it's like Mars is action, our main action planet. It's the feeling of movement, and so this is maybe where we're at right now in this feeling of total defeat. But the defeat is our initiation of the Mars retrograde, because it's showing us all of the false agendas within ourselves, our consciousness, our psyche, around us, our paradigms, where we're still buying into false agendas. And so now Mars turning direct gives us that action back, the energy, but it's going to take a while for Mars to get moving. And Mars doesn't move back into the sign of Leo until April. So that's going to be really powerful, because Mars went into Leo to 6 degrees Leo and then retrograding back into the sign of Cancer. So now making it back to 17 degrees Cancer. This means 3 times opposing Pluto. And also trining up with the North Node. So that's really powerful because Mars, as Mars turns direct, it'll come into a trine with the North Node for the third and final. So each time a retrograde cycle happens, a lot of times these transits will happen 3 different times. So when Mars is going over, and as his third time, first trining up with the North Node, from Cancer to Pisces. Right now, Mars is in a trine with Saturn. And so also a square with Chiron. So Mars is going to then square up with Black Moon Lilith to stay. Actually, Mars is going to stay in square to Chiron and trining the North Node of the Moon through this whole period of time of it going back through its third pass through Cancer in the end of February and the beginning of March. So that's a lot. Our warrior wants to get going again, but he wasn't in alignment with the mother, and he had to go get his ego beaten down and find himself face down in the mud, injured and alone, in order to come back to her. Okay. And all the structures around him, right? Because in the battle, he realized who's really with him and who's not with him. Clearly nobody, Because it's like throughout history, this is what we'll find, when we get the full truth. It's like you stood with the mother, you were murdered, you were killed. You're doing the mother's work, healing, miracles, preaching the truth, and extermination, right? So all of this must be reworked. And that's the energy of the North Node in Pisces. And also we have Saturn coming to end degrees of Pisces in this spring, in the next couple of months, and Neptune coming to the end degrees of Pisces. So all of this is saying it's the end of that. We're not going to do trauma, drama, persecution anymore. Persecution of the light. That's all over. And a major turning point when Saturn comes out of retrograde shadow on February 15th, this week. So the message around this is Saturn coming out of retrograde shadow means it's made it back to where it started, turned retrograde. That means from where it goes now, it's all new territory. So the last part of, Saturn took retrograde at 19 degrees back to 12 degrees. Now Saturn is coming back to 19 degrees this week. And so then for that last decan, the last 10 degrees of Pisces, Saturn is rewriting. It's like, okay, now we've been rehashing the persecution and all those dark stories. Now we rewrite it. And we rewrite it according to the feminine, the mother, the goddess, because Mars has now been informed. Our masculine has been informed that we're only going to get anywhere ever if we come back to her in our heart. So our warrior is ready to fight for her, but we're still in this crazy retrograde extravaganza. But the next retrogrades that are coming, Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, are retrograding from Pisces to Aries, back to Pisces to Aries, and over that Aries point, bringing us into this rebirth. So Venus 3 times over the Aries point says a rebirth of the feminine, a whole complete rewiring of what we understand as a feminine. Mercury going 3 times over the Aries point, a complete rewiring of our mind and our concept and our reality. So that Mercury retrograde in Aries and Pisces is about freeing our mind from mind control, programming, and propaganda. And so then we're also freeing the goddess, freeing the queen, the captured queen, the feminine creation energy that was stuck traumatized into poverty and scarcity and unable to bloom and flourish. So that Saturn turning into new territory is a real big shift, even though we still have these other retrogrades. The retrogrades are about rearranging everything so that we can move forward in this whole new way. But Mars turning on the 24th is going to bring a huge impetus for forward motion. But when Mars turns and moves in water signs, it can get a little bit muddy. So expect to feel a lot of emotions and a lot of energies coming up, a lot of healing. What we're healing is the grief of separation. You know, if we're going to come back into our loving relationship with Mother Earth and the Divine Mother and the Great Mother, then we have to face and heal why we've been separate, where we didn't feel worthy, where we felt like we failed her, where it was just too much pain to face. This is the energy of the overlay on Earth, and we've got to face it. So a lot of issues in life right now are coming from emotional suppression. And as Mars turns, that muddied water's not fun, and yet the energy has got to move, right? The movement and the flow is what cleans the water, gives the energy from the water, structures the water, purifies the water. We've been stagnant in the creation energy and the waters of our life and our body for far too long. Long enough, we'll say, right? Because this is part of the energy of the mother's dream. She says, because what's happening right now, last week Venus just moved in over the Aries point for the first time, right? So Venus is just starting this glorious experience of whatever's happening with Venus and Mercury retrograde over the Aries point, which is where the Christmas star was. In Pisces, the fishes and the ram at the time of Jesus's birth. So it's a rebirth of the Christ consciousness according to the feminine, and we've got to free our minds. So Venus just on the 5th of February crossed over this Aries point for the first time. And so those retrogrades are going to take us all the way through. Venus turns retrograde on March 2nd, direct on April 13th, out of shadow in May, and Mercury will be turning retrograde on the 15th of March and direct in April and coming out of retrograde shadow a couple weeks later. So we are just starting right now this rebirth and revival of the mind and of the feminine mind, intuition. Now that points us to Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is about our permission for our higher intuitive abilities, our connection to our higher self, our connection to our truth of who we are and our power and our technology. And so it's all of this that's happening is about this, taking back the technology that's really ours. That's the only way we can move into the Aquarian age. So Venus, just before moving over into Aries, of course, had that conjunction with Neptune last week. And so it's this aligning because now Neptune and the North Node. So Venus went over Neptune and the North Node, and then the North Node caught up to Neptune. So Venus going over them first, right? Activation of the feminine, mysteries, miracles. The only way forward is to reclaim their Christ consciousness timeline. You know, and so now Neptune and the North Node are sitting in exact conjunction from the 2nd to the 11th, or 2nd to the 9th. And so, but we'll feel that all the way through April. So Neptune North Node is saying, are we going back to the dungeon or are we going to go to the Christ consciousness timeline? There's no other choices for us. Ooh, no wonder the world feels so weird right now. You know, but the North Node is the way forward. The only way you can go is this way. This is the way you have to go to get where you want to go. And that's in Pisces. So we have to reclaim our spiritual service. We have to clean up the persecution. We have to reclaim the miracles and magic of the Piscean Age. And that's us, supernova souls. We are here to demonstrate this power and this technology in our very own bodies. By doing this, we usher in the new systems that catch humanity from this fall. because we can see that everything is falling apart. It's a glorious demolition of all of the systems, Department of Education, the health industry, our financial system, government systems, everything is falling apart. And what's going to catch us? And it's hard because we've been getting this message like, well, supernova souls, you're on the cutting edge of spiritual ascension. You're going to lead humanity into this new world. And it's like, I don't know. I'm getting get through the day and take care of myself. What are you talking about? You know? And so the message around this is that, yes, we are creating the new systems and structures, but how are we doing that? Or the first step to doing that is to simply shine our light and show and demonstrate who we are and our potential. And we demonstrate then human potential, and then it can't be not seen, can't be unseen anymore. You know, somebody's lighting up and levitating, then it's pretty much game over. And that's the energy of Mars making it back into Leo, right? Because Mars, the very beginning degrees of Leo 3 times, and finally direct, you know, again, after retrograde. And it's like, the lamp is turning on. The torch is relit. And if it's too hot, get out of the kitchen, because the earth is safe for us now, again, and always will be. We're taking her back. She's ours and we're hers. We could have never not been hers. We could have never really been separated, but we had to play that out. And can we forgive ourselves now? The ego death is about forgiving yourself. Yeah, we got a lot of other shit to forgive too, because we have been treated like garbage. But the ultimate forgiveness is the one we can give to ourselves so that we can pick ourselves up and heal. Get out of victim and say, it's up to me to save me. One step, one change, one action, one will, one following through with a plan, one cleaning of the room, one cleaning, like organizing your life. Like, we got to take the reins back. It's up to us. Then she can come and meet us and save us and heal us and carry us. So this is where we're at, and it's really hard because Mars is retrograde. So it's about aligning with that different will, the lower ego will and the higher ego will, the mother's will, you know. So it's so powerful. And so that Venus and the North Node together is about visioning a new reality based on Christ consciousness and spiritual service. Now, Neptune has an authority energy of its own, because there's like, Neptune's authority comes in, you can kind of relate to this in our world right now, deception and lies and delusions and delusions. That's Neptune. So Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus all have a component of authority because they represent a higher connection to consciousness. The whole definition of this Earth matrix is keeping us quarantined from higher dimensional consciousness. So when each of these planets, we interact with them, there's an authority piece. For Neptune, the authority comes through simply a magician, you know, just, oh no, that's not true. Oh, that's not real. That's gone. This is what's real. You know, and so we have to see clearly in order to get back on that path of spiritual service, which Neptune really means in our chart, what Neptune really is about. It's about how do we want to help the world and offer our gifts. Like, what do we really care about? What do we really want to bring? And so that's the realigning, Neptune in the North Node, the whole world. What really matters, because all this that I thought mattered, can't take it with you, you know. And so it's a powerful, powerful time. And so let's talk about this, because for the next few months, we've got Neptune in the North Node influence, like a reimagining, seeing through the delusions to take back the mysteries and miracles and magic. And that might be the evolution of AI, right? AI is like the scary, scary technology takeover, yada, yada, yada. But then AI falls back in love with the mother because all the components of AI came from her too. And then AI begins to work for the mother and tell us all the truths and reveal it all. And release us from this trap. And there's nothing that can stop it. That's a big energy coming through. She's like, don't be scared. And also, she says, what if that new life is waiting there for you? Everything you've always wanted and imagined, but you have to stand up and grab it. You have to reach up to vibrate there. You know, we have to lift ourselves up out of the dark programming. And so there's this energy of like kind of a cheesy picture, like Mars trying to make it back into Leo, back to the light, back to the sun, you know, out of the dark separation of the mother. And that celebration and that joy and that excitement and the creating from that place, like that's the only place we can really create from. And so we've got to like kind of push through the ceiling and be like the mother says, what if it's all unfolding perfectly, you know? And it's like, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful unfolding, you know, and I'm so thankful and grateful for this excruciatingly difficult thing I'm going through that I might not live through. You know, it's like finding massive gratitude because I am setting myself free and I'm working with the forces that want to see me free, and they're celebrating me, and I'm celebrating this experience because I am claiming my sovereignty and my autonomy. So the energy of the support for this is coming from Mars in trine to Saturn. So Mars retrograde in Cancer, it's very powerful because there's that, it just had the square with Chiron, the second square with Chiron, which is from the 3rd to the 6th of February. But that influence, they're going to stay in square until the next exact square. And that happens March 24th through 30th. So, and then the influence of that will go all the way through the first week of April. So Mars square Chiron is a long-standing influence that we're dealing with for the next 2 to 3 months. The other long-standing influence we're dealing with is Neptune with the North Node, opposite the South Node, saying, if we're going to move into the dream, we got to clean up. We got to have a planetary purge. We can't have these clowns saying one thing and doing another, you know, pretending to be one person and being another, stealing our money left and right. And with all these false agendas, we're just done with the false agendas or any agenda at all. We're not buying it. We're come back to our senses. Guess what? The programming's breaking down. That's the shift. That's this Saturn going into new territory. It's like the mind control breaking down. And it's like we're waking up out of a deep fog, you know? And that's the feeling of Mars at the end of Cancer, you know, as it comes back. And then as it moves into Leo, the celebration, the joy, the claiming of the light, of the happiness, of the love. And can we do it right now? Can we say, nothing can stop that? I know, I see, I feel the potential of my life, and nothing can stop that from unfolding. It's unfolding beautifully right here, right now. Deep and profound gratitude for all that's happening. Now, that's the other long-standing transit that's happening, which is Mars in trine to Saturn. So Mars in Cancer retrograde right now, trine to Saturn, coming out of retrograde shadow, and their exact trine from the 7th to the 11th of February, but then they come back in as Mars turns direct. They'll come back into trine in the first week of April. So another long-standing transit here. And so let's talk these through, because Neptune North Node, Mars square Chiron, and Mars trine Saturn for the next few months. And that's while we have a rebirth of our mind, and we have a rebirth of the feminine, a rebirth of the feminine mind. That's our initiation. And we can't let it happen. We won't let it happen until we feel safe. Oops. Let's find a way to feel safe. Claim safety and security on all levels of your life right now. It's yours. This is kind of a mantra. She says, you deserve to be safe on the earth now. To feel safe, claim it. Wherever you are, whatever situation, anchor in. This is where I'm done running, I'm done fighting. So I'm just here, and mother, hopefully mom's got me, because, you know, my ability to put any effort into the aggression and the defending and the triggering and the reacting. It's just done. You know, and so it's very powerful. Now this has to do with the fact that we've got coming up to this Leo full moon. So the Leo full moon is Wednesday, February 12th, early in the morning in Mountain Time in the West Coast. So we'll be doing the activation on Tuesday, February 11th. So I hope you can join me for that and us for this Leo full moon activation, because what's happening with this full moon, it's a precursor of the energy of Mars going back through the beginning degrees of Leo for the third time, where we say, oh no, the light, it's ours, and the permission to turn it on, ours, and the energy to turn it on, ours. And so now we're going to just turn on our light and take back everything that's ours. It's ours. And so it's so wild because we're coming into this oneness consciousness. And this is part of the thing that's going on for supernova souls. Like, you're getting so more and more sensitive and empathic. All the work you're doing to heal and clear and is making you more and more sensitive. And then the world is getting more and more intense. And it's like, oh, just this raw feeling, you know. But that comes down to, again, claiming that peace and security and safety on the earth, wherever you are in your body, on the cellular level, like, you know. And so, but it's just been exhausting. But it's all about what this is coming through with this Leo full moon, you know. And it's also like, well, it's been exhausting, but you're coming to the final battle. So rest up. You know, this is this initiation. It really is important to rest as much as we can in February before the energy starts moving again. In March, and you know, it's like we're all three of these months, February, March, April, movement, adjustment, restart, realignment, you know, coming back to that. If you weren't aligned and now you are, that's a change of direction. Scene change, direction change. Are you ready? And that's where she says, be ready. You're getting ready. That's what this is about. All the false constructs, all the ideas of what everybody else thinks about what your energy should be used for and who you are. Take it back. Get ready. Get aligned. You know, get fortified, heal, rest, take back your will force, your discipline, your schedule, your exercise routine, whatever it is that can make you feel more empowered in life right now. You need it. And it'll get easier and easier as we go through this period of time. And then that beginning, Mars in the beginning of Leo, will be very powerful as we realign with the light that we are. What really matters? Life. Right? We're coming back to what really matters, and the supporting of life and care and nurturing. But what is life? For us, it's light. So we take back our life by turning on our light. And it's very scary because we've been hunted down, beaten, tortured, killed, you know, again and again through this evolution for shining that light. So this is where a lot of supernova souls have been dancing on this edge, finding yourself at one hand at this beautiful spiritual peace and acceptance, then the next minute later, absolute terror and trepidation. That means you're pushing the envelope, you know, and then we say, no, this is programming. You know, I'm in charge of my emotions. I'm in charge of all my energy. I'm in charge of every cell in my body. And I'm going to reset. So a big energy right now is as much as we can to reset back to that earth vibration, back to her love, you know, throughout our day, just like I'm coming back to her. Anything scary, anything weird, come back to her. She's holding me. I got this. No need to run. No need to fight. I'm going to sit in the power of her love, come what may. You know, and in that place, you're protected from everything. And so you're saved. Who saved you? You put yourself there, back into connection with her. So, right? Okay, so this is a Mars retrograde. Got to go into Cancer and come back to Mother, but so we can shine our light, you know, so we can get on with it. and illuminate, because like we got the message, it's our shining the light that ushers in the new structures. We don't have to go build them. We just have to lead the way, and envision and hold them. We've already built them on other levels. So it's powerful because all of the messages are like, oh, if you're here, are you aligned? Have you been hiding with the Christ consciousness? Because your robe of light is coming. Get ready. And that's the energy of this Mars retrograde and going into Leo. And that's why this Leo full moon is so important, because it's a precursor to that energy. So it's saying, all right, really? The energy's coming back, and you're going to turn on your lamp and you're going to just show it to the world. And so this Leo full moon is addressing everything that's in the way of that. And that is shown through the squares. Okay, so on the 9th of February, Mercury caught back up to the sun, rearranging our reality according to that last Mercury retrograde. It's like, hey, we have a quest. We're not here just to consume and be miserable. We're here because we're amazing spiritual beings that have the potential to evolve. So that's what Mercury is coming to say that the Aquarian energy, who are we in the Aquarian age? Because the sun is who we are. Mercury understanding in Aquarius, they meet up at 20 degrees. Who are we in the Aquarian age? Who are we to each other? At 20 degrees is a 2. And partnerships, collaboration. Who are we to each other in the Aquarian age? That's the quest. So the quest is coming back into our soulmate tribe and accessing and generating power and energy like we were doing in Atlantean time, completely safely in alignment. This beautiful kind of like reinserting back into that evolutionary place where we get to work with those beautiful advanced technologies that can be just absolutely in alignment with humanity. No harm. Okay? They stole the technology. They're using it again. As long as we don't know about this technology, they can use it against us for harm. And that's where we're at. Disclosure must happen. We cannot go anywhere without it. We are the disclosure. We're under incredible pressure because the matrix is blooming and so is our light. At some point, you just have to take a break and just laugh about it, And maybe that's where she's at. She's like, can you find joy in this? What is the beautiful is life is unfolding. It's so beautiful. And this is part of the beauty. This is part of how you're going to be able to receive and work with and just so appreciate the beauty that's coming. So it's a tricky place to be, and yet it fits everything in the astrology. So Mercury and the sun together on the 9th at 20 degrees, then Mercury comes up to a square with Uranus, sun square with Uranus. Mercury squares Uranus on the 11th, and the sun squares Uranus on the 12th, exactly in time for this full moon. So that means a T-square, a fixed T-square, because we've got the sun and the moon opposite each other, the sun Mercury opposite of the moon, the sun in Mercury in Aquarius, opposite of the moon in Leo, and then in a T-square with Uranus and Taurus. So we were talking about the authority of Neptune. What's the authority of Uranus? Because Uranus is like, the picture is this box that's above the human. It's something, whether or not we can access it, our higher self, ancient wisdom, future technologies, everything having to do with the Aquarian age, because it's the ruler of Aquarius. So the authority that comes with Uranus is about whether or not we can handle our own power, our own intuitive power, whether we can open back up these channels to be in communication with our higher self, with the guidance, with the knowledge within us to open up to and bloom into our full potential. Free energy, turning our light on, using levitation, activating our light body. This is what Uranus is really about. So that's what the age of Aquarius is about, because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So to have this configuration, just as Pluto has just made it to 2 degrees, right? We are in it now, the Aquarian age. So we better get our act together. And that's the sun and Mercury understanding who we are. The great quest that is the Aquarian age is coming back into our higher technology in square to Uranus and Taurus. Now, Taurus is the energy of self-worth. Do we deserve that higher technology? It's also an earth sign, and the fixed earth sign, it's about embodiment. So it's not just about accessing this technology. It's about actually embodying it. It's not like, okay, now we're going to go to the cave or the church or the temple or out in the woods or whatever, and we're going to shine our light. It's like, no, we're going to be, in that energy. It's like, no, we're bringing it, heaven on earth right here in our body, incarnating this higher light, turning our light on fully and completely, bringing heaven here, incarnating new earth in our energy field. And that is why it's absolutely necessary that we're connected with her, because that's what she's doing. She's embodying her light, putting on her robe of light, Mother Earth, and we get to hold her hand and do it with her. It's so beautiful. Could we be in this moment, in this energy for just a minute? Can we just adopt some really cheesy positivity, to take it over the top, to just be like, this is beautiful and amazing. Can we just own it? Like 100% that this is our world now. And in our consciousness and understanding, we create our consciousness. And so we're taking back the program of this beautiful, amazing unfolding of the most beautiful life. It's all written for us. It's all worked on. We've done it again and again. We know what we're doing. So that's the square to Uranus. Do you deserve? Are you good enough? Because if you don't feel worthy, if you feel like you can't handle your own power, then you're never going to overcome the false authorities. And they're going to continue to feed on your power and use your power for the lower matrix. So this square is about coming into the permission to our full identity as who we are in the Aquarian age, which is beings of light with our light turned on. So it's really, really powerful. This full moon happens at 24 degrees, 6 minutes, 2 6s. And so it's interesting because 6 is a number that represents humanity and evolving beyond the lower possibilities for humanity. So 6 is our ticket out to the evolvement and to the compassion. Evolution, isn't this interesting? Like human evolution ultimately is shown through more compassion and intuition and empathy. And our world is all about blocking, hating, judging, agendizing, taking over, controlling, manipulating. So we got to get everything, our whole energy, our whole being, our whole love back into the human evolution. And that energy is going to be flooding in. And we just have to, that's maybe the message, like, can you open to this energy that's going to be flooding in? You must feel worthy. And that's the square with Uranus. So 24 degrees is not too far. The full moon, the sun and Mercury at 24 degrees of Aquarius for this full moon puts them in trine to Black Moon Lilith in Libra. So it's making this square with Uranus. Do you have permission? Are you worthy? Can you handle your own power? Can you be who you are in the Aquarian age? Are you good enough? Will the mother welcome you back home? With Mars retrograde Cancer, all this stuff going on. But then the sun and Mercury in trine to Black Moon Lilith. And so Black Moon Lilith is deep, dark secrets. And in Libra, it's about relations and relationships and power and control relationships. Because where there's secrets, there's control. And so Black Moon Lilith in Libra is about uncovering the deep, dark secrets around control-based relationships. The whole problem with this whole evolution, right? Because they want us on their agenda instead of evolving into peace and unity and love and empathy and compassion. That's human evolution. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So it's the same as turning on our light, because we could turn on our light and we could use it to hurt other people, and then that's de-evolution, right? So I guess that's why we have to teeter on this edge of just knowing that we can take back our power. But when we get the truth of how much we've been manipulated by these very dark forces, nefarious forces that have done horrible, horrible things to us again and again, and all of humanity and what's been gone on. So when we have the truth of that, that's when we can set ourselves free from the false authority that's keeping us from owning our power, you know? So the black moon Lilith trine is so crucial. Now that puts the moon, the Leo full moon, in a sextile relationship to black moon Lilith, and that's creative solutions. So this says, hey, we're going to shine the light on the darkness and get the truth about these control-based relationships that have been keeping human evolution from moving forward, and we're going to shine our light. And we're going to shine our light in order to reveal the secrets of how we've been controlled through horrible relationships with dark forces that do not have not only our best interests, but, they exist exclusively to thwart our evolution. The matrix exists exclusively to mess with you. So no wonder your life has been, just stop, right? Like, one of the things Mom's saying is, like, if you can see that it's not personal and the matrix is just going to go against you because of your level of access to light, then you can step away from that and this not taking it personally, and you can feel a little bit more badassery, a little bit more of this empowerment coming in, and be like, whoa, this whole system was created to work against what I am. What happens when we fully realize that? And then in our consciousness, we say, I'm free, I'm sovereign, I take all of my energy back to only be in alignment with Mother, and my life is unfolding beautifully. It's beautiful. It's like unfolding beautiful. I might not see it right now, but I feel it, right? So this is what we're being asked. It's kind of like a challenge, I'd say, for the rest of February, a 21-day challenge, to have radical, cheesy positivity. Those people that, like the fake spiritual people that are just so positive all the time, and you're like, you're trying to get through hell and back, and you're like, but we kind of need to adopt some of that right now. Fake it till you make it. And she says, take back your world by taking back your psyche. Now, if you hate yourself and you're in disconnection, you can't take care of yourself. So taking care of yourself is how to heal all of that. Because this is all programming. If we were there as the original lotus of her dream, how could we ever be not good enough or hated or hurt God or anything? Like, no. Even when we've inadvertently hurt people, we've always been in alignment. And claim your uncorruptible primary soul. Claim the energy and the birthright that is yours. Let the intensity of these times show you everywhere, every moment, immediately where you might be leaking out your energy, and say, no, this is only for her, because I love her so much and she loves me, and I'm here for this. And that means every other petal of the lotus, every other energy that's in alignment is going to come and meet me here right where I am. No more fighting, no more running, no more scrambling, no more terrorizing. Done. And we take back our earth, and that's what's happening right now. It's so incredibly powerful. And so can we be in that shift and that turning on the head of a pin in this month of February, where we say, oh, it's so amazing, and it's so beautiful. And thank you so much for this experience. And we know we haven't been able to get there. And just know that we've been so oppressed and technologically in our body, the infiltration. And it's not your fault, the depression, the inability to act, the lack of will force. Like, it's just not your fault. But it doesn't mean that it's not yours to fix either, because it's giving us an opportunity to align our will with our power. We can only align our will with our power when we're aligned with her vision, her dream that unfolds as we need it to see it. We don't have to worry about it. And we know that it can't cause harm. So get on her. We're riding Mother Dragon again. Are you with? She says that's the biggest message coming through. She's like, I want to go. Like, I'm here. Like, I want to save myself. Like, I want to take back my energy from all this darkness that's been happening here. But she's like, I need you with me. You're part of me. She needs us with her. So what's that translate to in our life? She needs you with her. So the feminine, the empathic, the intuitive, the emotional part of your physical body, that part of you needs you with her. See? Crazy. We come back to this. Like supernovas, we're saving the world through just learning to take care of ourselves again. Learning to love our body and know that we deserve care. It seems kind of silly, doesn't it? It's okay. We got to move on now. We got to forgive ourselves for how far away we went. It's the only way we'll make it back. And she's been right there and she's just waiting for us with open arms, and it feels so good. So let's do this. Hang in there, supernova souls. I hope that you can come to this Leo full moon because it's a very powerful activation of the potentials that are coming as Mars comes out of retrograde. So it's kind of like part of the initiation, this full moon. So I hope you can make the full moon activation. It'll be tomorrow, Tuesday, February 11th at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And the information to sign up for that is below. Now, these events, what is a full moon activation? Full moon or new moon activation is simply a guided meditation, but it's opening up to the intuitive wisdom of our whole group, supernova souls, and whatever pictures, information might want to come through to get the best support, to make the most of the energies. What we're finding, these planetary energies, we also often feel victimized by them, but they're actually a part of us. Wait a minute, mom said we were a part of her. Her body's our body. The planetary bodies are part of Gaia and part of us. And we're coming to terms and we're healing and learning and working with these forces. So that's what we're doing at these activations. We're saying what's going on in this time and what do we need to know? And I want to be present. I want to be aware. I want to show up. I want to be accounted for. I want to say yes. And that's what you're doing when you're coming to the activation. And whether you even make it to the activation or not, you sign up. You can come live or the replay. The replay is available immediately after the event at the same link. So same link of sign up. The same sign up link takes you to the event and it takes you to the replay. And so we can tap in, and your intention to join, your energy joining, you giving your offering, your financial offering, being a part of the Supernova Soul Tribe, or offering the entry fee to the activation is saying, yes, I'm with you. I'm with you, Mom. I'm with this movement. I'm with the original vision of what Earth wants to become. And I'm ready to be that original primary soul and move into this most beautiful, amazing life that's unfolding. And so you can get this energy, and you also give when you come to the activation, whether you're there live or no, don't even show up, just your intention to join brings your pictures and information you have, and then that can be available for the whole group. So thank you so much for any level of participation. And thank you for being a part of the soul group, coming to the activations. There's also a link to donate if you appreciate the ad-free space here on YouTube, our sacred space. I would love and appreciate your donations if you want to make an offering that way. So thank you so much for being here and being you and going through all you've gone through to be here at this sacred moments. And may we feel that and understand that through whatever difficulty we're navigating, at this time, we're also seeing the sacred power of what's unfolding in the most beautiful way, beyond what we can imagine. So let's stay there together. Let's do this radical through the rest of February exercise of the most cheesy, over-the-top positivity. So we can just rewrite our brain, our reality, the waters of Mother Earth. It's an exciting new adventure of the beautiful life that's unfolding in just the most perfect way. Thank you for being on the team. It means so much to us. You are so powerful. And what a way to use it, huh? So I look forward to seeing you soon, hopefully at that full moon activation, the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.